Welcome to Nine Leaders, and in particular, Nine Leaders Reads. So this is part of the channel where we review books. We not only concentrate on conversations with leaders face to face, but also in terms of their written word. So as you'll see behind me on the left-hand side there, I've got quite a library of leadership and business books. And this is going to be a monthly segment that we do, and we'll be reviewing books on different aspects of leadership and business. So yeah, we'll jump in, get some really good reading, get it, grab it, and read it. So this week's book review is coming from a gentleman you might very well be familiar with if you're South African, Mr. Marnus Broodryk. The 90 Rules for Entrepreneurs, a Codex of the Hustle. Apologies. Get it right, Andrew, come on. So it's your guide to being an entrepreneur, a millionaire, and of course, happy. It's published by, hang 10, let me turn across there. Tracy McDonald Publishers of 2017. I got my copy in early 2019, so just over a year ago. Read through it. It's really is a guideline, not only for entrepreneurs, but what I loved about it was from a leadership aspect, business, really setting up business, and it's incredibly easy reading. So yeah, enjoy. So for those of you who don't know Marnus, he is a South African entrepreneur, been around the block, been very, very successful. He was a member of the Shark Tank one of the Shark Tank investors that was on TV a while ago. He is the CEO of Bean Counter, and he's the founder of SME Africa. I've had the privilege of not only seeing Marnus in person from a presentation side of things and the talks he's done, but also I've had the privilege of sitting in meetings with him. From Shark Tank, you'll name as a very hard-nosed businessman, and that follows through in terms of business meetings. He really is very, very forward-thinking. He entrepreneurial to the bone. He's looking for opportunities. He really wants to be able to grow what he's currently doing, and very cognizant of how everything that he does fits into his bigger picture and bigger vision. So it was really great engaging with him, a very interesting experience, but he really is an entrepreneur at heart. He's got a viewpoint of that entrepreneurship is often about breaking rules, but more so there's some rules that you really do need to follow. So the 90 Rules for Entrepreneurs, a Codex of Hustle, is really about those rules that he's brought about, that he's experienced from the years and years of being an entrepreneur. And yeah, it's a fascinating insight into a gentleman's mind as to how he operates in business and the experiences that he's brought about. So what I love about this book, firstly, it's short, sharp, and impactful. That doesn't mean that it's lacking content. When I say it's short, what I mean by that is the book is made up, it's nearly 225 pages long. But when I say it's short and sharp, it's made up of 90 rules, as it says in the description. But each of those rules are effectively 2 or 3 pages max. And reading through it, what I really would recommend is that because it is so short, it feels short in terms of the rules. It can get very overwhelming if you've read 20 or 30 pages, because you've already covered then maybe 8 or 9 rules as Marnus elaborates on. So I would take time with this. It really is 2 pages per rule, but it's really, really insightful, and there's nothing that's lacking in terms of the content that he's put in there. It's bite-sized chunks, and it's really is very, very insightful. The second thing that I really, really love is the fact that the book itself is made up into 8 chapters, and it really details the different stages of business entrepreneurship. That it takes you right from the startup aspect, the challenges that you're going to face in startups, and the rules and the guidelines that you should be following, right up to actually establishing a multi-level organization that you need to, obviously, challenges you'd face there. So it really is it details the entire landscape of business. third thing I really love is the fact that, yes, it's for entrepreneurs. It's in the title. It's about entrepreneurship, but the rules and the suggestions they make here is absolutely transferable to any other business, as well as from a leadership side of things. So when he talks about business, he not only talks about the hard-nosed business side of things, but also in terms of how you as a leader of that organization or that startup or that new business needs to also, in terms of your own development, taking the time, things like meditating, that is about you as well. So it's really very, very balanced in terms of its approach to setting up business. The fourth thing I enjoy is the fact that it's not just Marnus pontificating around his success and all of that. He's been very transparent, success and failures. But what he also has done very nicely is he's brought in, each chapter does have some guidelines and some advice from various other people, particularly South African. So you've got people like Divan Botha, Farron Murray, Eric Kruger, Mark Forrester, Romeo Kumalo, Rake Nietling, obviously from an Olympic side of things, Vinnie Langham, Adrian van der Spey, Dino Kavotsos, and Gil Ovid. So each chapter is around a specific stage in the development of your business, and he gets others to speak into that as well. So that's a really different sort of aspect and brings a different color to the book, which is really enjoyable. All right. It wouldn't be a review if there wasn't something I'd like to have added. But as most of you know, I love storytelling. And if there was one criticism of the book, it's not necessarily a criticism, it's just my personal preference, as that bringing in examples, everyday examples. So you've seen, obviously, my library. Most of the books that I really enjoy are the ones where it talks about real life examples of where they've succeeded or failed, and how they've applied these principles. So the book itself is, as it says, it's a codex of rules and guidelines. If there was one criticism that I would like to have got out of or got more of, was actual examples of when these worked and when these didn't work, etc., etc. But that really is very, very minor. The book is, as I said, 225 pages long, so it's very comprehensive. There's the potential that if examples had been put in, obviously, then it would have gone to, good Lord, 1,000 pages, which nobody's got time for. But yeah, absolutely a great read. All right, as with any other book, we usually have a little bit of an excerpt from the book. And one of the portions that I really want to bring through is rule number 89, the myth of the glass ocean. Marnus writes, I often hear people ask when things will get easier. We assume that when we've ironed out all the issues, things will be easy from that point onwards. If you can ever get to this point and things are truly easy after that, I'd like to write my next book with you. We'll make a fortune. While the problems may be finite, the number of them is not. There is no end. Things will always be rocky. There will always be another hurdle to leap and a pothole to catch or to patch. The ocean will always have waves, and that will never change. And I think in this period of time, the amount of conversations I've had with people during, and the COVID time period is that, we can't wait for things to get back to normal. There is none of that. Unfortunately, this is going to be the new normal. And people are saying, well, we can't wait for things to return to what they were. They're not going to return to what they were. So it's very poignant in this time as to, like Marnus says here, the myth of the glass ocean. As an entrepreneur, as a leader, as a business owner, it really is going from one challenge to another, and how I respond, how I bring about possible solutions. So that can be both daunting, but also exciting in the fact that the day is never done. My second excerpt comes really from the very beginning and the introduction. And in inverted commas, Marnus says, I wish I knew then what I knew now. This is one of the most common laments sung by entrepreneurs everywhere. Yes, even by me and my mates, especially by me and my mates. The lessons we've learned in the last few years have been painful, costly, and interestingly enough, common to all of us. So this book is about us trying to rectify the situation for all new business owners and aspiring entrepreneurs. We believe you can leapfrog our success by learning from our mistakes. So, like I said, a really insightful book on entrepreneurship, business, and leadership. 90 rules for entrepreneurs. Get it, grab it, and read it. Enjoy. Cheers.